Imagine landing a CO wife just because you saved her grandmother. But the catch is a strict 6-month contract marriage to prove his worth. That's Fang Yuan's new reality. But his first night is already a disaster. Arriving at her apartment complex, he realizes he doesn't even know which floor she lives on. He pulls out his phone to call his new bride, Shen Yuchu. But she's busy dominating a serious boardroom meeting. Seeing a call from a bizarre screen name, Brave Banana, she ruthlessly declines. And without a second thought, she deletes his contact completely. Left out in the rain, Fang Yuan resorts to calling her grandmother for help. The grandma is furious and immediately interrupts Yuchu's meeting with a call. Getting scolded, Yuchu finally remembers she literally just got married today. She quickly texts him the floor number, but acts completely indifferent. When Fang Yuan asks for help moving his luggage, she flatly refuses. Fang Yuan settles into the massive, empty apartment all by himself. Assuming she won't be coming home, he locks the front door from the inside and goes to sleep. Meanwhile, Yuchu finishes her shift and sneaks out of her family's corporate building. She hops into a modest car to keep her wealthy identity a secret. Arriving at the apartment, she confidently slides her key into the lock. But to her shock, the door won't budge at all. Realizing she's been locked out of her own house, she kicks the door in frustration. The noise finally wakes Fang Yuan, who rushes to open it. He quickly apologizes, explaining he thought she was staying at the office. But she coldly reminds him this is her house and demands he never lock her out again. The next morning, Fang Yuan is up early and heads out to buy some breakfast. Yuchu stumbles out to get some water, completely forgetting she now lives with a man. When he walks in, she quickly realizes she's only in her nightgown and bolts back to her room. After changing into her usual business attire, she joins him at the dining table. She scoffs at the cheap street food he bought, calling it unhygienic. But despite her complaints, she takes a bite and clearly enjoys it. Setting some ground rules, she slides a sleek black card across the table. She tells him to use it for all their household expenses. Fang Yuan, showing his pride, slides the card right back to her. He insists that since they are married, they should share the financial burden. Later that day, Fang Yuan's buddy corners him at work. He begs Fang Yuan to join him at an exclusive high society banquet. His friend hopes to snag a rich girlfriend, and Fang Yuan reluctantly agrees to go for the free food. At the glamorous event, the boys are completely out of their element. Little does Fang Yuan know, his aloof wife is the VIP guest of honor tonight. She makes a grand entrance, catching the eyes of everyone in the room. But she's surprised when her bodyguard points out her new husband in the crowd. Driven by sudden jealousy, Yuchu orders her guards to keep a close eye on him. She even instructs them to secretly snap photos of anyone he interacts with. And her suspicions peak when a cute girl approaches his table to chat. Unaware of the surveillance, Fang Yuan decides he's had enough of the fancy party. He bids the girl goodbye and leaves the hotel with his friend. Back home, Yuchu is scrolling through the photos her guards took, analyzing her competition. Just then, Fang Yuan walks through the door holding a plastic bag. He brought back some stinky tofu, offering her a skewer. Yuchu covers her nose, disgusted by the pungent smell filling her pristine apartment. But as he eats it, she can't help but secretly crave a bite. The next day, Fang Yuan decides it's time for a proper family meeting. He calls her grandma, planning a big dinner at their new place to introduce everyone. Meanwhile, Yuchu is still in bed when his call rudely awakens her. To prepare for the feast, Fang Yuan actually manages to drag Yuchu to the local market. As they walk back with groceries, the grandmother is secretly spying on them from the bushes. She is absolutely thrilled to see her Ice Queen granddaughter acting like a normal, everyday wife. Back at the apartment, Fang Yuan takes charge of the living room, offering fruits. He playfully tells Yuchu to sit back and relax while he prepares the meal. But surprisingly, she follows him into the kitchen to help with the dishes. It quickly becomes clear she has no idea what she's doing. She accidentally dumps way too much dish soap into the sink, creating a massive mountain of bubbles. Seeing her struggle, Fang Yuan gently teases her and takes over the chore. Yuchu leans against the wall, trying to play it cool. Curious about the phone call earlier, she asks what her grandmother was whispering about. Fang Yuan turns around, revealing they were discussing their sleeping arrangements. He says her grandma wants him to be a bit more proactive in the bedroom. But the real kicker? Grandma expects a great-grandchild by next year. To emphasize his point, he aggressively snaps a pair of chopsticks. Yuchu stands there flustered, unsure of how to respond to this bold demand. It looks like this fake marriage might just turn into something very real. Fang Yuan casually mentions that her grandmother promised him her entire life savings if they managed to have twins. This immediately rubs Shen Yuchu the wrong way, and she storms off, leaving him confused at the sink. She quickly returns and hands him a formal contract marriage agreement to set clear boundaries. The terms dictate a 6-month loveless marriage, and in return, he gets the apartment but cannot touch her family's assets. Fang Yuan signs it without hesitation, assuring her he has no intention of falling for her anyway. Her plan backfires as his quick compliance leaves her feeling slighted, and she heads out for the night. Sitting alone in her car, she realizes she's never been dismissed so easily and struggles to understand why she's upset. She ends up drinking her frustrations away, and a designated driver brings her back completely intoxicated. Fang Yuan helps her inside, bewildered by her sudden binge drinking, which she blames entirely on him. He warns her not to bathe in this state, and the next morning, she wakes up relieved that he kept his distance. Expecting him to have cooked breakfast, she instead finds the apartment empty as he's gone to his antique shop. His friend He Qiang arrives at the shop, begging Fang Yuan to save him from a dreaded blind date that evening. Their conversation is interrupted when Fang Yuan's grandmother shows up, looking for him after finding the apartment empty. He Qiang seizes the opportunity to complain to the older woman about his matchmaking woes. Sympathetic, the grandmother convinces a reluctant Fang Yuan to accompany his friend to assess the date. Before leaving, she hands Fang Yuan a detailed letter outlining all of Shen Yuchu's habits and preferences. She specifically warns him about her severe morning temper, explaining that she hates being woken up abruptly. Fang Yuan realizes why she was always so furious with him, as the grandmother urges him to be more proactive. He admits that her icy, strict demeanor is just too intimidating for him to make any romantic moves. He tells her to let nature take its course, and later that night, He Qiang heads to his blind date. Meanwhile, Fang Yuan's sister arrives, giving the grandmother a chance to put a cunning plan into motion. She calls Shen Yuchu, ordering her to go to the exact same coffee house to buy a specific pastry. When Shen Yuchu hesitates, her grandmother threatens to embarrass the family by working as a cleaner. Exasperated by her grandmother's wild behavior, she reluctantly agrees to make the trip. At the coffee house, He Qiang is enduring a nightmare date with a woman making outrageous financial demands. As Fang Yuan waits nearby, Shen Yuchu spots him and assumes he's looking for a wealthy older woman. He quickly clarifies that he's just there for moral support, brushing off her baseless suspicions. She claims she's only there for pastries, and he simply tells her to head home safely. Furious at being played, she drives straight to her grandmother's mansion to confront her. She accuses the older woman of setting up a jealousy trap, adamantly denying that she cares about his dating life. When her grandmother suggests she stay the night, she points out that her husband left the door unlocked for her. Back at the apartment, Fang Yuan pieces the puzzle together, realizing the grandmother orchestrated the whole encounter. Shen Yuchu receives a call from Fang Yue, who confirms that the setup was indeed a jealousy test. Shen Yuchu downplays it, claiming it was just a coincidence that she walked in exactly when she did. She then reveals that she actually bought that coffee house for her grandmother recently. Fang Yue explains that the staff alerted them the moment Fang Yuan arrived, making the timing perfect. She warns Shen Yuchu that she might fall for him, showing off a beautiful wire tree he crafted. Still in denial, Shen Yuchu insists she doesn't know what jealousy is, then calls Fang Yuan. He answers sleepily from the balcony, and she subtly shows care by telling him to go inside. The next morning, they share breakfast, and Fang Yuan deliberately pours extra vinegar into his noodles. He playfully asks her how it tastes, mocking her claim about not knowing the taste of jealousy. She tastes it and calls it sour, telling him not to insult her intelligence. Later that evening, Fang Yuan's scooter breaks down in the rain, and a familiar face pulls over. It's Bai Ningbing, who offers to have the scooter towed and fixed for him. Just then, Shen Yuchu's chauffeured car passes by, and she recognizes the woman from a previous banquet. Unaware he's being watched, Fang Yuan thanks Bai Ningbing, who suggests he treat her to dinner. He agrees to bring He Qiang along to keep things platonic, then heads back to his apartment. To his surprise, he finds the door locked from the inside and has to call Shen Yuchu. She coldly suggests he go sleep at a high-end hotel using the family credit card. Fed up with her attitude, Fang Yuan agrees and turns to leave. Hearing this, she immediately opens the door, and he walks in demanding to know her problem. He tells her that if she's going to act passive-aggressive every day, he'd rather just move out. She fires back, accusing him of already finding his next target and trying to humiliate her. Fang Yuan is appalled by her accusations, telling her she's delusional and needs to get her head checked. He explains that his scooter broke down and Bai Ningbing was just helping him out. He criticizes her cynical worldview, reminding her that he signed the prenup without a single complaint. He points out that she keeps all her assets in the divorce, proving he never wanted her wealth. He confesses that his only motive for this marriage was to give his anxious sister some peace of mind. He calls her out for projecting her jealousy onto him, noting that she's the one acting paranoid. He points out that she's practically reeking of the metaphorical vinegar she claims not to understand. Shen Yuchu stubbornly refuses to admit any jealousy, stating she simply won't tolerate public embarrassment. Fang Yuan assures her he isn't interested in cheating, reiterating that this is just a partnership. He frankly admits that the only thing he wants from her is a free place to stay so he can save on rent. He apologizes for his outburst, suggesting they should communicate directly instead of locking doors. However, he warns her that her cold personality will inevitably ruin any real marriage. The next morning, the tension has slightly cooled as Fang Yuan prepares breakfast. Shen Yuchu awkwardly asks if he needs help, and he tells her she can do some chores if she's bored. To his surprise, she actually complies, relieved that he isn't holding a grudge. She then offers to drive him to his shop, claiming her schedule is flexible. Just as they are about to eat, Fang Yuan receives a phone call from Bai Ningbing. Mid-breakfast, Fang Yuan coldly rejects Bai Ningbing's offer for a ride, shutting down any lingering hopes. He explicitly states he only sees her as a sister, a brutal but necessary truth that leaves her in tears. But the domestic peace is quickly shattered when Fang Yuan receives an unwelcome call from his estranged older cousin. The cousin aggressively demands Fang Yuan secure a hospital bed for their sick grandmother, setting off immediate red flags. He even insists Fang Yuan pay the medical deposit out of his own pocket, a truly audacious request. Fang Yuan unleashes his fury, reminding the cousin how the family abandoned him when his parents died 15 years ago. He delivers a raw recount of how the relatives swooped in like vultures to steal his parents' compensation money. Disgusted by their absolute hypocrisy, Fang Yuan refuses to be extorted and slams the phone down. As they head to work, Fang Yuan marvels at Shen Yuchu's luxury car, the irony of her hidden billionaire status hanging in the air. During the ride, the narrative slows down as Fang Yuan opens up about the deep trauma of losing his parents. He details how his greedy uncles and aunts immediately started a vicious fight over the settlement money. They shamelessly manipulated the situation, tricking the young orphans out of their rightful financial safety net. The relatives even occupied the new house his parents built, leaving him and his sister with nowhere to turn. He explains that the family hijacked the property, forcing his sister to plan a future legal battle just to reclaim their home. Shen Yuchu listens in stony silence, her eyes burning with quiet fury at the profound injustice her husband has endured. Fang Yuan continues his heartbreaking tale, expressing deep resentment toward the family that treated his adopted mother like trash. He reveals the relatives stole almost everything, leaving him and his sister to fend for themselves in a cruel world. His voice hardens as he remembers how the family even demanded a massive bride price to exploit his sister's marriage. Back at the corporate tower, an infuriated Shen Yuchu summons her assistant, radiating an intimidating aura. She orders a deep-dive investigation into the family that dared to torment the man she loves. The assistant quickly picks up on her sudden protectiveness, realizing the icy CO's heart is finally melting. Shen Yuchu drops the tough exterior for a moment, fiercely declaring that she will protect her husband at all costs. Fueled by righteous anger over the cousin's audacity, she violently tears a document in half. In a boss move, she orders her top legal team to drop every case and prepare for a massive, targeted lawsuit. Meanwhile, the tension spikes as the greedy relatives barge right into Fang Yuan's bookstore to harass him. The uncle crosses the line, threatening to destroy Fang Yuan's livelihood if he doesn't cough up the cash. Showing zero fear, Fang Yuan stands tall and dares them to return the stolen compensation money first. The cousin aggressively steps up, hurling vile insults at Fang Yuan's late mother in a sickening display. But right on cue, a fleet of menacing black luxury cars pulls up outside the humble shop, shifting the power dynamic. A squad of sharp-suited corporate lawyers, dispatched by Shen Yuchu, marches in like an absolute hit team. The lead attorney wastes no time, immediately accusing the stunned relatives of extortion and embezzlement. He methodically calculates the stolen funds adjusted for inflation, hitting them with a crushing demand for over $3 million. In a brilliant tactical move, the lawyer reveals he has recorded their entire extortion attempt as hard evidence. The terrified family tries to backpedal, but the lawyer coldly promises that court summons are already on the way. With the very real threat of prison hanging over them, the lawyer orders the cowardly relatives to get out. The bodyguards physically toss the humiliated family out into the pouring rain, delivering a deeply satisfying dose of karma. Fang Yuan is bewildered by this cinematic rescue and immediately asks the lawyer who orchestrated it. Bound by an ironclad enda, the lawyer respectfully keeps Shen Yuchu's identity a complete secret. Later that night, the emotional climax hits as a tearful Shen Yuchu finally confesses her true identity. Fang Yuan calmly suggests they part ways since her trial period is over, pushing the tension to its absolute limit. But Shen Yuchu refuses to let go, tearfully revealing she destroyed their prenuptial agreement because she is hopelessly in love. She completely drops her guard, confessing her intense jealousy over Bai Ningbing and her paralyzing fear of losing him. She even admits to locking the door just to force him to call her his wife, showing how deeply attached she has become. She confesses that his simple cooking and quiet kindness have completely stolen her heart. Fang Yuan smiles, deeply moved by her raw vulnerability, finally understanding her true feelings. He playfully teases her about her billionaire status, inviting her to take the lead for once. They finally bridge the gap between them, sealing their genuine, hard-earned connection with a passionate kiss. With Shen Yuchu's covert backing, Fang Yuan's handcrafted artwork quickly skyrockets in value among the city's elite. Meanwhile, the story delivers ultimate justice as his treacherous relatives are shown rotting behind bars. Sometime later, the narrative jumps forward to a joyous hospital scene as Shen Yuchu gives birth to healthy twins. Fang Yuan rushes to his exhausted wife's side, gently kissing her forehead in a wave of overwhelming gratitude.